ready to meet Valerie. She is now in France, although she lives in Switzerland, and she has a very interesting view of things. Let's go. Good day, everybody. This is Meet the Human podcast, and today I have the pleasure to introduce you a great lady on the screen, Valerie. Valerie is a person that I met a few years back, and actually I am quite impressed by what she does. Although I never told her, I'm just telling you now, Valerie. So, would you mind to tell us for the audience? Who are you, your origins, a little bit of a life and roles that you have been taken until you place us in today's in your today's reality. So going a bit back to finalize on who you are today, Valerie.
Thank you, Luis. Thank you. It's I have to say, when you contacted me and when we exchanged on LinkedIn, I've always been as well impressed by you and by your professional journey in the past as well. So it's and the way we interacted when you used to work for Lloyd's, that was for me a very great time. So I didn't hesitate when you proposed me to talk with you today. So thank you so much. It's an honor. It's a great privilege. And yes, so I'm currently on the French Atlantic coast. Originally, I'm French. I became Swiss recently, and I'm coming from an amazing region, I have to say, the French Alps. I've been educated and I grew up at the bottom of the Mont Blanc in the French Alps. And this origin means a lot to me. The proximity with nature, with this breathtaking landscape, is something that I keep in my mind, I keep in my heart every day. And the respect to nature, the respect to what we have on Earth, is something that I really care, and that is very important to me in my professional life and personal life as well. So this is my origin, and it's true that when you spend your first 18 years in front of this Mont Blanc, in front of this beauty, you have a sense of what does it mean wonder, what does it mean humility, what does it mean respect, what does it mean danger, what does it mean a reflection on yourself and what we are on this earth. And I think it's completely different if I were grown up in an urban life. This is completely different. And for me, the sense that I have, how to you live with the seasons, you live with the weather forecasts, you live with the snow, you live with the hike, you live with sports, you live with this energizing environment. And I think it helps me in my life and professional career for sure. Yes. So that's for my first, the 18 years. Then I did my studies and I started my career in the energy. In fact, I chose energy sector when I was 25 because I saw there the link. I've always been interested in politics, in geopolitics, and there's the link between energy and politics, geopolitics. So for me, I started my career with the French gas company. At the time, it was Gaz de France and Genève Suez, NG. And then to be honest, I didn't want to go and live in Paris. So I started to say, okay, what should I do? I want to remain in this sector, but how to move forward? So I applied and I arrived in Geneva, in Switzerland, at the United Nations. So that was something, a sort of, in a way, booster in my career, because you enter a world that is completely different from the corporate environment. And then now, 11 years ago, we decided with a number of companies to create the Global Gas Center, which is a non-profit organization based in Switzerland. We stayed in Switzerland because of many benefits that Switzerland offers in terms of stability, in terms of trading hub, and so on. And yeah, I became a Swiss after 15 years living in this country. And
Oh, wow.
always near the beauties of nature and landscape. So that's fine.
Oh, good.
That's
Actually, I
yeah.
wasn't sure. I wasn't sure of your nationality, actually. So now I am, okay, now I'm
Yeah,
clear.
yeah. French and
Uh,
Swiss.
so you are Swiss national. So you made when you make a decision to change from the corporate world into what do you remember the trigger? What made you made that significant? I would say, or jump from the corporation into the UN.
What is important in my life is the I'm moving a bit back just to explain this evolution. When I was 16, 17, I was very impressed by my professors in history, in economics, and in philosophy. And I started realizing the importance of philosophy in my life. And I discovered many writers, thinkers, philosophers, and it was the beginning of a journey, to be honest. And the especially to clarify Immanuel Kant, the philosophers that try to reconcile rationalism and empirism. That's something very important.
Oh,
And for me, these two things, how the journey on philosophy, when you live in a corporate level, you are much more on the daily life. What kind of projects you need to lead, you need to achieve, the goal you have. You are in a figures way of thinking, in a way. When you enter the UN level, it's multilateralism, it's connection among people, it's international way of thinking. And I love this. I really love connecting people. And there's a lot of critics nowadays on the UN, but the philosophy is not the perfection of doing this like that, and then many things that need to be improved. But it's the intention of doing things in terms of energy and in the gas business to connect people. And when you speak to a US LNG player, to an African company, to Egyptians, to Europeans, to Asian, to Russian Federation, you need to find a line between all these people, because at the end of the day, we are all humans. And it makes the links with what you are interested in, humanity. And it's true that you have. I was very proud to be there, to take part of all these discussions. So that's what really attract me in this sphere.
mhm. Without having spent too much time experiencing the connecting people, maybe when you were very young, but you felt this is what you need to do in life. Sure, sounds like.
Yeah, but I always been connected in a group or in a collective way. I'm playing sports and playing tennis, and I started when I was a kid. I always be part of a team, so I know what it means: working in team, playing in teams, winning together, losing together. So that's part of my DNA, if I can say this.
I see.
At the corporate level, yes, we have the sense of team building, but it's, I would say, it was the sense of team building was much higher in the past than it is nowadays. We are now focusing on individualism. It's true that the COVID have increased this gap between individualities and the team. What does it mean doing something together? We see that at a political level in every country. It's very fine now to find a consensus, to live together, to do something together. And it's true that the technologies have increased this sense of you are alone and you want to connect with others through technologies. But when you are around the table, when you are leading, when you go and when you travel, I'm traveling a lot all over the world. So I have a sense that when you recently have two great experience in Malaysia and in Angola, you have different types of people. They have different needs. And we need to bring something on the table. We need to do something to make things move in terms of energy, security of supply, bringing projects in their country, and so on. And this is really what I like to do. So it's not, I've been the sense of collective actions. I like that very much.
I see. It is incredible. Actually, I admire what you do. Um, it's incredible to be able to actually have the opportunity to travel so much and meet so many people. Then now I realize you being a person of such a high, with your DNA being so high on connecting. Um, I think you may be able to give me a very interesting definition of what is humanity for you, Valerie. You must have a very interesting definition of it.
um,
Give it a go.
yeah. Uh, as you see, humanity is part of a philosophical journey.
Uh-huh.
And you have to realize that as human, we have to treat our own person and the other person as an end in itself and not as a means. And this is the beauty of humanities. It leads to this this way of thinking leads you to the reflection of dignity, of how should I say, a sort of moral imperative,
Uh-huh.
a rational way of thinking, that you need to treat yourself and you want to treat the other in the same way, even if you disagree with them. And there's in many occasions you disagree, you have to confront, you have to debate, but the sense of humanity is these things. Then there's another component that I would add to that, is the rational thoughts. You remember Descartes, this philosopher, he said, I think, therefore I am. And
Yeah.
it's true that as human, we have the possibility to engage in abstract reasoning, in how should I say, complex problem solving, and this is what differentiates us from animals, for example. And at the same time, we are, as I think it's Aristotle that said, we are political animals. We need the social aspect of humanity is very important. So this is the relationship, the cooperation, the respect, this is part of humanity. I would say this is my it's not definition, it's a way of how do you what makes you feel that you are human being and humanity, and this links and this trying to reconciling rational and I like very much, just to give you an example, because it's always in my mind, the definition of Immanuel Kant is the a priori knowledge, what you learn, your mental framework in science, in mathematics, the concept of causality, these things that you learn that are completely independent from experience, and the a posteriori knowledge, which derives from experience. And this is the balance of these two things that make us human.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So in our professional life, this is what we need to. This is a long journey, for sure. This is a journey, but and we will never come to an end. But if you have that in mind, it helps you to behave in under different circumstances, under different latitudes, with different people. And we always have in front of us people that don't have this background, that don't have this educational environment, and we have to treat them in a respectful manner as well, and to try to do something. Otherwise you stay home and you don't interact with human beings. But in terms of yes, energy, if you're leading a project, you have people that have different interests, and sometimes you really disagree, and sometimes you say, oh, come on, they are not nothing is done, and you want to push. But the little progress that you can do, and yes, having this balance between what you've learned from experience and what you know from what you from your mind and the reason, that's interesting.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much for your
That's a bit long for
amazing.
humanity, but humanity, it's so vast that what
Incredible. Oh, it's very beautiful how you described. I mean, humanity described as a fantastic compilation journey with a lot of details, and actually, you gave me new thoughts, new things to think about. Very interesting. Thank you very much. I can feel, I can see that. I love your comment of treating people the way you treat yourself, with and also with and everybody saying with equality, even though you know you're disagreeing with what they are saying. But actually, important thing is in foundation to treat them with respect as equals. That's amazing, Valerie. This is super great.
and may I
Yeah,
add something here, just to jump on what you said? For me, the main things in personal life, in family life, in professional life, and if we stick here, is the elegance of relationships. What does it mean being elegant with other people? It's not the way you dress, the way you, okay, it's part of that, but it's a part of respect. How do you want to interact with other people in a graceful, respectful manner? Whatever you are talking about, it could be a pipe from a point A to a point B. It could be in shipping, these things. It could be in carbon capture, whatever technical things you may deal with. Elegance in human being and in relationship is key, absolutely key for me. And the wording you use, even if you disagree, but maintain the dialogue, maintain the link with people that sometimes you disagree. And we often see so many clans, so many gaps, so many split in this world.
indeed. Actually, you are making me think about human values. Normally, I ask my guests about human values. We can maybe pinpoint some, define some. I think you've given me already a range of them on your speech, but some of them are so elegant, actually, so different. Um, I will. I am not asking you give me some human value examples because you already did, and it was very interesting. You value. I'll play back, Valerie.
Yeah.
You value respect. You value equality. You value the elegance on the relationship. You value relationship and connection and being social. Um, I've heard of that. Do you want to highlight any other that maybe you have in your brain that you haven't told me about before?
We didn't speak about efforts and courage and justice. That's part
Mhm.
of the values as well, that sometimes we should put or we should think of it. The courage to do something, the courage to meet people, to talk to people, to do things, to for people that start a business. It's something wow. Yeah. And I'm advising a number of companies. So that's why I know the pressure that they have, the difficulty that they are facing in their everyday life to raise money, to make projects move forward, and so on and so on. This is the courage and the loyalty. Loyalty is something important.
Mhm.
Yeah, in professional life, in your personal life as well, I think it's important.
Mhm.
And again, it doesn't mean that you are always always aligned with other people with some strategies and so on. Never. I'm French, originally, so I know we like debate, we like to 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 disagree with people, we like the revolutions, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, we need to connect, if or to find a deal, if because it's quite it's the concept that we have now on the table. Yeah, how to find a deal with someone.
A happy win-win, happy ending is important.
Happy, yeah, absolutely, absolutely, yeah. And the intention, what is behind your intention? What do you want to reach when you are in a meeting, when you are traveling? What is your intention behind? That's something important.
Important. Sometimes some other guests, we've been discussing this human value idea, and actually we have also discussed what human traits, let's say ways of being human, and sometimes we recognize that maybe we use, or some people use certain traits too much for their own interest, or um, and this could be also labeled as human. I normally ask my guest to describe, if you can, examples of how you have been you have achieved something great for you that hopefully is linked to using your humanity in a positive way. I'm sure you have some example, maybe if you are not too shy, Valerie, to share when you have actually created positive impact. You have been able to achieve something great by with your humanity. You want to give us some great example, please?
um, I have many examples, and the beauty of working at an international level is that you have many examples all over the world. But the fact that we decided, for example, to create this global gas center, which is a club of gas-related companies that want to share something, because when it's in sport, it's the same. If you belong to a club, you need to play, otherwise it has no sense.
Mm-hmm.
you need from the beginning to have the support, and to have the support at the time from US, French, Russian Federation, Swiss. That was a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
That was a challenge. And to create bridges among these people that are willing to share things for their own benefits, for the benefits of their own company, I think it's really important. And nowadays I'm working closely with I would say remote countries in Africa, in Southeast Asia, but let's put the example of Africa. Their needs is completely different.
Mm-hmm.
And I was recently, and I've quite daily conversation with people from Angola. That was a closed country with all their history, with all what they have. And if you want to find a good way of doing things with them to improve the economic situation through energy, through project, etc. That's something I'm trying to do each time where I can. So this is, but you can have experience. I can have experience in Chile, where you have for the first time we met all together people that are not used to connect to each other, and sometimes someone from outside. It's easier to connect, or I would say in Europe we are used to talk to each other because of
Mm-hmm.
history.
Mm-hmm.
We are used to talk. We know what connectivity means in terms of human beings, in terms of project, in terms of infrastructure, etc., etc. But in other part of the world, it's not the case at all. And just the
Oh.
fact to connect one country, one team with another country and their team, it's something brilliant. Because then you have established the channel, the tunnel, just to have these people. Just to give you an example, nowadays there's a lot of things that's going on around Angola, Namibia, Republic Democratic of Congo, and Zambia about all this energy transition, critical raw materials. But how do you how do you connect to each other? The infrastructure. What do you start? Where do you start building something for young generation? All these young people that needs to do something in energy. There's a lot of things in your shipping sector. It's huge, but we need to find a way to with the right intention, again the right intention, because we have
Mm-hmm.
so many examples of corruption, of crimes, of bad dark business, let's put it this way. If you come with the right intention, nothing to impose, but just to say, look, you can do this because it's in your interest to do that, or for the benefits of your own country and your own population, that's a different way of treating people and dealing with them. And that's what I'm doing every day, to be honest. Trying to do. Trying to do. We have to be humble.
And Valerie, so you've been, so you have a very diverse group of people that you have actually managed to connect and get them connected and stay connected.
Mhm.
Um, any and you mentioned that maybe in Europe there is, maybe we have more practice, maybe somehow, or the way we
Mhm.
connect is probably different than the way maybe other cultures
Yeah,
connect. Because at the end of
sure.
the day, everybody probably connects. Um, how was the beginning of? Because I know a bit about your story. How was you've been through transition? The organization that you are leading now was European, then very diverse European. Then also you go into Asia, then finally into Africa. How was that easy? How did you manage to bring all this together?
In fact, it's due to the political and geopolitical environment.
Mhm,
If you look at the map of the planet, each conflict is linked with energy. It's oil,
mhm,
it's gas, it's infrastructure, it's shipping, it's maritime transport. They're the link with energy and conflicts or wars all around. And it has consequences on the business of energy. And you have the suppliers, and you have the end users, and you have the grid, and you have the links between all these two group of countries. For a number of years, for example, we know now that Europe is far away in terms of energy transition, in terms of technologies, in terms of net zero journey, in terms of decarbonization, etc., etc. So it's more focusing on new technologies, the role of carbon capture, the role of CO2 market, the role of e-fuels, e-methanol, etc., etc. And all these difficulties have been raised with the war in Ukraine, for sure. It has accelerated this process. If you think of Asia, it's the demand, high demand of energy. So the demand is there, but the supply is not there. So everybody wants to sell their products, their fuels, their oil, their gas to Asia. And then you have Africa, which is a continent with a demography that is growing every month. They have high demand of energy as well, but there's a gap between the technologies in some countries and the supply and the connectivity and the grids and so and the investment and the money. The money is not there. So how to attract money on this continent to make things move and to find reliable partners that wants to say, and it's very difficult because in some countries it's the fiscal, the legal system is not easy for foreign investment. So that's true. So, but for us, how we move forward, it was when we talk about energy transition, which is a new subject in terms of history. So all the minerals and the resources many are in Africa. So it's naturally, I would say, that I came to Africa, and it's true that I met a woman who is our main advisor for Africa in Mozambique. It's a wonderful woman, and she introduced me to many countries, and this is again the beauty of this history. It's really again a priori knowledge. Yes, we know all what I've just said, the demand, the situation in Africa, and the personal intuition. The personal intuition is that you met someone and you want to do something with her. The personal relation, this empirism. And this is what pushed me to this continent, with many things to do ahead, for sure.
Your story is really very unique, very unique. I think we could spend much longer describing your journey, and maybe Valerie, we will have another podcast later with you. Maybe a few months later, maybe we just prepare again, and we have some focus on some other area, because I think your experience is so rich because you are so exposed to so many world cultures, and it's very fascinating. Let me ask you this question. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you don't have a clear view around it because of what you do, but just let me ask you, because I ask everybody, do you have any personal take about how we are already influenced and going to be influenced by artificial intelligence? Do you have any take on this, like even if it is short?
I have a view on the technology that we are using now. We most of the time we are putting humans. We are connecting humans not directly, but through a screen, and it could sometimes they understand that they want to interact with other people, but it could be very harmful, because you think that, for example, the perfect life on Instagram, it's not the perfect life in reality. There's another things. The authenticity, you lose authenticity. So for me, the balance between the technology that is absolutely amazing. Imagine that just 40 years ago, we didn't have a mobile a phone and even computers. And now we have generative artificial intelligence. So the journey in just 4 decades is just amazing. But we need to have people and to maintain the humanity in this technological world. That's for me important. We need everybody. We are all using ChatGPT and other things and Grok and whatever every day, and it's fantastic. And it's fantastic in every sectors of the life. But connecting, and again, we talked about humanity, about virtues, about the sense that we are not robots yet. We are human. We are human, and we need to have this interaction, this intention of doing things. And of course, the skills will be completely different, and we see that in our everyday life. We use ChatGPT or to analyze reports, even to write reports, and then. But at the end of the day, the added value of human being is so important as well, to maintain a sort of how should I put it? A welfare among citizens of this planet. Something above technology that that understand that, again, the reason the technologies and the experience, we can embark on the same boat together.
I see. I agree with you very much on that thought. I was talking to another guest, and normally I ask previous guests to give me a question I can ask the next guest. So I do. Okay. So and this is very random. So the question I was asked to ask you in this case was related to the notion of, if it's actually possible, it's a very technical question, if it's actually possible to embed human values in AI, in technology. I don't think who could answer that question really, but do you believe it's possible?
Behind AI, there will be human. We have a lot of engineers, we have algorithms, we have people that are behind the system. But we need to have people, okay, behind the system, and I would say after the system. That's for me the two tricky things. When we think, imagine nowadays young people, if they use ChatGPT to write a report, to write something at school or at universities, but they don't master their own language, but they are perfect, but they give something as in the exam as perfectly written in English or in whatever language. What does it mean? Do you think they are mastering their own belief, their own mental thinking, just using ChatGPT, putting the title of what they have to give back? No. It's not human. It's something artificial, in fact, which has no interest. So having human behind, and there will be a lot of progress. We all know that. And after, and the ethics, the morals, is it useful for humanity to use this or that, or to treat people like this or that? I think it will remain And fortunately, in terms of touching people as well, speaking directly to people, wow, we need human beings.
Yeah, well, I think Valerie, I think you and I are too much type of people person. So yeah, I think this is easy. Yeah, it's easy for us to want that. I fully agree. Um, we are coming nearly to the end, Valerie. That's been really interesting. Couple of things before I finish. I would need you to tell me which question. Give me a question I can ask the next guest, which is related to the subject of our podcast. Give me a question, please.
What would you say that could help to reconcile people that nowadays don't speak to each other? What do we
Okay.
mean as human? That would be
Okay.
very interesting to have the feedback of your other speakers.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Question formulated. And maybe now to finish, looking into the future, a bit, Valerie, into the future, your world, what you're doing now, and how it's evolving. Would you be able to give me some projection of how things are going to move forward? Perhaps how would you like things to move forward? Just put yourself a bit into the future.
For me, there's two things that are important in this very artificial world and very technological world that is ahead of us. There's two things. The links between human beings and nature. If we don't have the links, we are no longer human beings. And for me, it's nourish ourselves. It boosts our mental and physical health. So the link between nature, whatever kind of nature, and human beings, we need to further that and maintain this link absolutely. And the second thing is maintain the link between human beings. Otherwise, we are all in our sphere. We remain in our spheres. We are confronted with people that needs to leave their country, that needs to migrate. We don't understand to each other, and we need to have a livable planet for everyone. And it means connecting human with other humans. That would be my final word.
Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup.
With pleasure, with great pleasure.
Thank you, Valerie. You gave me a lot to think about today. Knowledge, experience, connecting, elegance, relationship, respect, equality, courage, loyalty, intention, good intention, and energy as a connecting factor.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, amazing. Valerie, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All the best.
I think we are. This is the end of our podcast. Any final anything?
No, continue. That's great. That's great. It's
Thank
very
you,
interesting to
so
listening to people. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I think you should come again. Few podcasts later,
Anytime.
maybe hopefully
Anytime.
you come again, and we focus on some other subjects. Focus on deep dive. So thank you, Valerie. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
and thank you to my all the viewers. Thank you for being there, and I hope this has been valuable to all of you. And please subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet. This is very important. So we build community, and we'll see you at the next podcast. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Wow, you're very smart.
No. Smart is
Very
important.
good. Smart is important. I'm okay like this.
You're perfect, Luis.